On every mile of road, there are 2 miles of ditch. This last conference has got me really thinking. I was talking to some teachers this morning and they were talking about how the school was replacing specialty subject teachers with apps. They were doing this for a practical reason. The state had a requirement for 2 years of foreign language and they didn't have a foreign language teacher, so they used this app. But here's what happened when they got a foreign language teacher back. Those kids wanted to all go back to the app. And it wasn't because they were learning more, it's because the app was easier and it wasn't actually challenging. I talk all the time about joy and having fun while you're learning, but there is a level of strain that is required to build muscle. Any muscle. This very much includes the brain. When the brain learns, it needs a little discomfort. You have to be at a place where you don't know and then a place that you know, and in between there is some stress, some discomfort that's necessary. So that's one ditch, making things so easy that you never stress and strain. But this morning I was reminded of another one. I was doing a session on self-care for music teachers and how that helps your students today. And there was a man in the back, dedicated music teacher. You can just tell by being around him, dedicated music teacher. And one of the things I said for self-care is take one whole day off. And he raised his hand and he goes, I don't know how to do that. He had a huge block because he felt as though if he wasn't working, he wasn't worthy, essentially. I shared with him a story of mine that I'll share a bit with you. I struggled with exactly the same thing, and then I got cancer. And I laid in bed for 6 months, wondering if I was worth anything, if I was laying in bed and not working. This is the question that teachers have to ask themselves all the time. Am I giving an appropriate amount of strain to my student without crushing them? Am I crushing my students with this level of work? Or am I actually giving them appropriate strain? This is something we should be talking about in music ed programs. This is something we should be talking about in all education programs, frankly. And as always, I would love to know your thoughts on this. See you later.